Hi.
Hey guys, Natural Progressive. I have a special guest today. I have Oz. He is my uh, wrench man behind the curtain, and we are going to be testing our new setup and as well discuss a really important issue, the Green New Deal. Uh, and it reimagined, like if we were to build it. So uh, I guess Oz, say hi.
Hello there. I am Oz, not Christine. I'm happy to be here tonight, and I'm going to be Christine's wrenchman for the Natural Progressive. This is kind of an evolution of tech, so we're going to step it up a little bit, and I'm honored and happy to help. So I will be in the background during her other interviews and shows, but tonight we're just going to kind of throw it back and forth. Is that about covered, Christine?
Yeah, we're going to pretty much shoot the breeze of pretty much if we were to build a Green New Deal from scratch, how would we do it and why?
Yep, that sounds like a good plan. So, how do you want to start tonight, Christine?
Um, let's see. Well, okay, I have my own ideas, but I'll just start with the number one must on the plan, and that is we really, really, really need to mention the military in the plan because they are one of the top contributors to pollutants. And I gave you a link to that. I don't know if you can pull that up, but if you can, that would be really great.
Let me see what we've got here. I think I can do that. Let's bring that over and we'll just cut it right in there. See, there we go.
I wish I could read that, but I have this weird thing in front of it.
Oh, so sorry. U.S. military is the world's biggest polluter, and this is from May 15th, 2017. It's by Mint the Press, or it's from EcoWatch, which is a wonderful site. So, do you want to talk about this a little bit?
Well, I think if we are going to talk about a Green New Deal, the military definitely has to be part of the discussion, and we need to pull all of our troops out of regime change wars, out of any just wars over oil, which is mostly what they're doing, and they're just polluting the planet and killing innocent people. We could put them to good use here at home and building a true infrastructure that could be more sustainable. So I have some crazy ideas on that people probably haven't thought of. And I know it's not written into any legislation, but should be. So I really just want people to rethink the whole idea of the Green New Deal. We can't do the same thing that they did in the original FDR version of the New Deal, because what they did was they rebuilt infrastructure, roads, bridges, dams, all that. And but they also supported artists, which was great, but they really need to think about uh, deconstructing civilization instead of building it up. And I know that's a really crazy thought to a lot of people. It was to me at first, but when I really deep dived into this whole crisis that we have, that's the environment, I found out that the biggest problem we have is is civilization itself not living in harmony with nature. uh, One of the biggest things that they used during the New Deal with FDR was cement. And if you're thinking about building windmills and um, solar power farms and all that, we really got to consider whether we can find an alternative to cement, because cement is a huge producer of pollutants as well. So the military is the number one pollutant in the world, and our US military. So we can do a lot to cut emissions just by bringing our troops home and putting them to use, planting trees, tearing up parking lots. I mean, there's so much more that they could be do that's that they can be doing than being at war with other countries. So, what do you think, Oz?
Well, I have to say, judging from the article here, it's one of the things that you need to cover too is the accidents that the military keeps happening. Because from this article, it's talking about how the U.S. mainstream media gave minimal attention to the naval station in Virginia Beach that spilled an estimated 94,000 gallons of jet fuel in a nearby waterway in less than a mile from the Atlantic Ocean. Now, just the accidents, we're concerned about all these pipelines that are running through our country. This is just one instance that I believe does not get the publicity in the mainstream of fossil fuels being dumped in or around our oceans and aquifers. So that's breaking my heart. On top of everything else, it's poisoning our environment that much more. So, along with the military being one of the biggest polluters, they are probably have the biggest percentage of accidents around too, because of history in that. So yeah, I'm really shocked about that happenstance. So how do you feel about that?
I'm just amazed that it hasn't been brought up before, that the military and the reduction in what we're doing hasn't been brought up when they're discussing the Green New Deal, and it's not in any of the proposals they have. I'm just amazed that considering their contribution to the problem, that's not even mentioned at all. So I don't know about you, but I'm totally shocked and amazed that that's not a thing.
Well, that's one more thing that I think that independent journalism makes it so important. We need to keep supporting independent journalism, and the scientific community needs to be brought into the discussion. Haven't you noticed on the mainstream media, they don't bring in actual scientists. They bring in paid pundits from the military industrial complex, from the fossil fuel industry. And it's not a wonder considering who sponsors these shows on MSNBC and Fox and, the rest CNN. I'd like to see the scientific community brought in like in the days of Walter Cronkite and Huntley and Brinkley. They brought in real scientists that were educated on these things. They weren't pushing the paradigm of fossil fuels and pharmaceuticals. Would you agree to that?
I absolutely agree. And in fact, I would really rather see the Green New Deal be written by climate scientists and people that really care about our ecosystem, and people that would put more weight towards our environment over and our planet and our livelihood over our economy. I would like to see people who aren't invested in corporations, in capitalism and all that, who depend on the consumers to keep growing and growing and growing. I would really rather see someone who's not invested in that developing these plans, instead of politicians and corporations that are currently developing the plans for the Green New Deal as it sits.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the for-profit motive, capitalism, is going to stunt efforts of a Green New Deal, the concept of a Green New Deal, with the climate crisis at our footstep. Uh, we have to push that fact is that we cannot necessarily use the capitalistic system to work our way out of this. Maybe at some point we can, or if it's about wealth and things like that. Um, I'm hoping that we can get beyond that, but I don't know. What do you think the mindset of billionaires are going to be when they actually figure out that we have a climate crisis and the bell is tolling for thee as well as we?
Well, they have been they've been in a scenario where they always come up on top, where no matter how much the people below them suffer, they don't feel it. And I think they believe they're above it. Like they can somehow uh rise above it or buy their way out of it, or I don't know. I mean, I just don't think that they feel it enough to really care. Where, certainly people in the East, when they had the Arctic, um, the vortex that come down, uh, they felt it. it becomes real when you're looking at 50 below temperatures and the power grid going out. That's when you really feel it. Whether you're wealthy or not, you're gonna feel it when that happens. And when you're in Australia and you're watching animals just drop dead, and I was just listening to a story today about opossums dropping dead because of overheating. We're losing our whole ecosystem. And if you don't think that we depend on every other animal, that we are not a part of this whole system that can somehow rise of it, you need to think again. Because without them, we won't have our food supply. We won't have the biodiversity needed to grow food. We just won't have anything. And I fail to understand how people cannot see that we're a part of that we are in that whole system with nature. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, honestly, I I find it hard to believe that what I hear is that the ultra wealthy may have an idea that they can buy an island and create their own ecosphere in a small footprint on the planet. I have a hard time believing that because when your entire environment uh, works on a planetary scale, you mentioned about the Arctic moving around what was the reference you used?
It's I don't know. It was I don't know that, but it has to do with the jet stream and it leaking
Yeah,
down because of the warming of the ocean waters. So it weakens the jet stream and allows the Arctic air to flow down into the United States, and that's why they're experiencing extreme cold temperatures in the East is because of that in the Midwest and the East. But everyone's going to experience at one point or another extreme temperatures, and already um the 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 normal low temperatures are being closer to the higher temperatures, so we're not getting the freezing at night. I mean, here, even though we have snow and all that, we got 18 inches, and then 2 days later it was completely melted. We had a sinkhole in our pasture, which has never happened before. the, Normally this time of year it freezes, thaws, freezes, thaws, freezes, thaws, and now it's not freezing. I mean, it may snow, make it cold enough to snow, but then it doesn't stay cold for more than 12 hours, and it just melts.
yeah,
So
it's running amok. I had a conversation with a farmer friend of mine up in Bellingham, Washington.
mm,
I'm in Washington State, and he said, Oz, 40 years ago, this time of year, consistently while I was going through school, I'd get up at this time of year, and the temperature would not get above freezing for like 2 weeks straight. It would be consistent. It would be blocks of consistent temperatures. Even now, when I walk out, compared to 10 years ago, walk outside, I get the feeling this isn't right. And I know that you and I are probably not unique in this feeling because we remember when we were kids. We remember what we were doing in March and February and January and December. And things have just not been like they were back then. And sure, things are going to change over time. But when it comes to a global ecosystem, usually that's supposed to stay pretty consistent unless some catastrophic event happens, from interstellar meteorites falling to volcanoes erupting on the planet. But I kind of equivocate what's going on now with the attack on our ecosystem by the fossil fuel industry, by the military industrial complex, by over the last 100 years before the first when the first industrial revolution started, they kind of knew that that was not going to bode well for the ecosystem of the planet, just because the amount of crap they were throwing up in the air. And then you get into sunlight filtering through particulates. We talked about the ozone layer disintegrating in the past. In Australia, I think you've got to wear like sunscreen 5000 or you get fried. I mean, that is not what I think or I believe to be a natural occurrence. Man made happenstances have had a catastrophic effect on our planet. And anybody that has a parochial idea or a view of this should kind of realize that, just from the sense of where they're
Just
at.
look around. All you
Yeah,
have to do
look.
is look around. Hundreds of thousands of cows died in Australia for flooding,
Yeah,
and
bats
we're
were
having,
falling out of the trees in Australia because.
yeah, bats, wild horses, which
Yes.
breaks my
Oh,
heart. I mean, all the animals break my heart, but wild horses, extraordinary amount of whales are beaching themselves, and starving. A lot of them are starving, a lot of killer whales. Now that we've overfished our oceans, the oceans are dying,
yeah,
like literally dying.
dying. Yes,
There
they are.
isn't that much left in the oceans right now. The coral reefs are bleaching, which is basically dying.
Right.
And it is man-made. It is man-caused. And they're finding like plastics in the bellies of some of these whales that are beached. Other ones are just starved. Other ones are affected by the sonar that we use for our warships. And it's just one thing after another. We have messed up this planet so freaking bad. It, if you can't see it, I'm sorry. I get so frustrated because people are like, "No, it's not man-made. It's not." And I'm sorry. Look around you. Drive on the freeway for 2 minutes and tell me that man doesn't have an effect on the planet. You know, up in space, you can see a big mine out here. It's called the Kennecott Mine. You can see it from space. It used to be known as one of the eight wonders of the world because it was the few man-made things you can see from space. Now there's more than one of these places, but I drive by the tailings pile um, every day to work, and if it's a windy day, you're going through a freaking, what do you call those, dust storms? Like it's insane dust, and it stinks like sulfur. And I drive through that, and I can't say that man has not caused that. Man caused that, and we are suffering the effects from it. So, and that dust goes on to, if there is any snow on the ground, to it goes on to cause the albedo effect, where instead of, like the white salt that's around the Salt Lake, the Great Salt Lake, there's white salt. If it covers it with dark material, that messes with the environment just in itself. And
Absolutely.
I mean, and it goes on snow or whatever up in Vernal. There's mines up there, and they're saying, "Oh, we can do it clean, and we'll just water down these tailings piles, and it won't blow everywhere." Bull crap! They're
Yeah.
watering down those piles every day that are coming off the Kennecott mine, and they still blow everywhere. So don't
And
tell me.
yeah, and when they water those piles down, what does the sediment that goes into that water?
Yeah.
Where does that end up going?
In our water supply.
In our water supply. We are disrupting the natural food chain of the planet because bugs have died. What was the statistic we were talking about? 75% of the mass, was it the mass of the bug
Mhm.
population of the planet has died in the last
Yeah,
10
in
years?
some places it's much greater.
Yeah, I remember we go on family vacations in the summertime. We go through some states and there'd be a mass of bugs that would just slap and splatter all over the window. That hasn't happened. That hasn't happened on any trips that I've had over the past couple of decades. So we're screwing up the food chain, the natural food chain for the birds and other organisms around. So naturally, yeah, we are killing. We are the virus, the bacteria on the earth that's
Mhm.
eating our own environment. And I don't want to sound so gloom and doom, as just stating reality, at least my perception and what I've read. And as you and Sandy with the Environmental Coffee House, wonderful
Mhm.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Love
mean,
Sandy.
yeah, she's great. And but we need to start talking about this. We can't bury our head in the sand anymore. I mean,
No, and these platitudes, like the Green New Deal, is kind of like a platitude. Here you go, pat on the head. We're going to give you something. But what they're not explaining is the extreme changes we'll have to make in order to even extend the life of our planet. We won't be able to save it, but we could maybe extend the life of our planet if we took some extreme steps. And I listed those steps. That's what I do. I make lists. But um no, seriously, we need to put the environment over the economy. That is very important. We can't make economical considerations when it comes to where we need to live. Like, seriously. I have grandkids now, and I kind of would like them to grow up to be adults. I would love to see that. I'd really, really love to see that. But at this point, I'm very doubtful that that will happen. I'm scared to death that that won't happen. And the proof is all around you. Is you're seeing extreme weather that could knock out the power supply, which could in turn melt down a nuclear plant. Would it's like the devastating effects go on, and then there's the methane bomb waiting to happen that's been predicted since 2005, and it's just getting closer and closer. More methane is being released into the atmosphere. We are already above the limit of carbon dioxide that any human has ever existed in. Um, I mean, how much proof do you freaking need that something is going to happen to destroy our planet and all planetary life? We have species after species, 150 to 250 species a day are going extinct with plant and animal life. A day. How do you not see that? And I'm going to quote Kevin Hester on this one, because he stated this. How do you see all the list of species going extinct and not understand that you're on that list? The other species are canaries in the coal mine. That's what they are. So I got away from my list, but comments before I go on.
No, no, that's great. I mean, I think there will be a very few here that are going to say, "Oh, you remind me of those people back, those hippies back in the '70s that had the sandwich boards saying the end is near. The end is near." Well, guess what, folks? The science is in, and those hippies were kind of right. They were just like 40 years too soon.
No,
So,
but they weren't too soon, because
no,
we
they
should have
weren't.
started action then to
That,
prevent what's happening now.
seriously,
They're
yeah,
not too soon.
they weren't too
Absolutely
soon.
not too soon.
Not at all. Not at all. In the context of how I meant it, though, is uh, they they had the foresight, as many have had over the decades. Say, hey, you're pushing it, you're pushing it, you're pushing it. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. I have personal friends who are farmers that said, we cannot sustain this cheap food, the way we produce food, indefinitely, especially with the world population growth as it
And not
is.
only that, not only the world population, but the changing environment and the extreme temperatures that are going to make it really hard to grow food like we have, and we're not diversified in a way that they can be flexible. Oh my gosh, we have people live. Should I read their names?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I'm so excited. There's people. I Okay, so we have 13 on with us right now that I can
Oh,
see.
great, great.
Yeah, this was just a last minute thingy, so
Yeah.
it's all good. So we have Robin Dada.
Hi, Robin.
Hey, Gazur Gazur. How do you say that? Gazur Gazur.
Gazur, gazur. That's a good
Hello.
one. I like that.
I like it too. Let's see. Um, okay. They have great comments. I don't know. Maybe we should just go through comments for the rest of it since we talked a lot.
I think you should. I'm just happy to be here with the
Me
net.
too. This was a test. This
This
was
is the
really
test.
a test.
This is
A
the
test
test.
of the emergency broadcast
Yeah,
system. It's
yeah,
an emergency for our planet. That's what it is.
exactly so.
So now let's hand it over to our great people that are live with us. So I'm so excited. Okay, so Robin says greetings, as Black Bear says.
Hey, Robin.
Gazar Gazar, hello. Hello to you. Lots of fuel used for military, yes. I think we went through that. I actually work
Hello.
all over Utah, and I go by the Hill Air Force Base all the time. And there are these jet fighters just playing around above us all the time, like constantly. You can't go up there without seeing them zooming back and forth. And when you think about how much fuel that's wasting, how much that costs to do that, that's insane. We
Oh,
need to stop that. We just need to stop it.
it's crazy. Hey, Sandy's here. Hi, Sandy.
I know, I know.
Hi,
Sorry, I meant
Sandy.
to say hi to her, but I was going down the list.
Sorry.
Yeah, Gazar, you're trying to take up all the time. Just use neutron bombs and get the oil. What?
Yeah.
But once a wind turbine is built, it cancels out fossil fuels used to make it big time. Well, let's hope so. Maybe if we stopped all the military doing what they're doing, we could build everything that we need to as far as infrastructure, renewable energy, and not worry about that because that would cancel each other out. Maybe that's just my thought. Okay. Robin Dada, pursue excellence, as Guy McPherson says, with a lasso. I suggest. I like that. Although I kind of suck at a lasso. I kind of cut my nose trying to swing it around. Yeah, I got a big cut on my nose trying to work with a lasso. I'm not the best with that. Okay, Gazar. Again, the end of food will not be abrupt, but is slowly going to get more expensive, then harder to get, then we'll fight for food. Yeah, but I think it's going to be faster than you think it will be. We're already having food shortages in other countries, and as soon as the weather turns and we can't grow crops here, it will happen super fast. So I suggest growing your own food as much as possible. Maybe keep a couple chickens in the backyard like we do. It's probably a good idea. Pat, the Batman fan. Hi. Hi, Pat, the Batman fan. Could be abrupt natural disaster could cause disruption. Yeah, definitely. Because we're having all the extreme storms. We have the atmospheric river coming through. We're getting that now here. We've had just tons of rain here, and it's supposed to turn to snow tomorrow. And of course, that causes major accidents and all that. We're not getting the extreme temperatures like a lot of places, thank goodness. The sun is whiter as Shiva. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, Pat the Batman fan sounds probable. Environmental Coffee House. Hi, Sandra. Just got in from Florida. I'm so jealous of her. I've been to Florida like 4 times, and I got to see that and canoe down the Everglades and all that. It's amazing. It really is. So yeah, you're lucky you got to do that. Yeah. Pat the Batman fan, but lots of feedback loops will start occurring as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Feedback loops. That's something I think we're doing feedback loops right now, aren't we?
Yeah. I think that's already started. Definitely. As Shiva, 75 to 80% decline in flying insect biomass. There you go.
Yep.
The studies were being done in protected lands, which this is a huge decline in areas where they're supposed to be more protected. So yeah, I mean, I know in Puerto Rico it was like something like 90% of the flora insects were gone, and 80% in the canopy, and that's a place where humans don't even go. So yeah. Um Pat the Batman fan, domino effect. Yes. Oh crap. I don't know what happened. It just skipped.
Oh, it jumped on you. It does that.
I hate that.
Yeah, I know. Jimmy was complaining about that on his show the other day. It jumped on me again. I missed those.
I know. I lost my place. Dang it. As Shiva says, like this video.
Oh, good.
Osama says YouTube has been a real bitch lately. That's the truth.
Yeah. Well, I hope they like the format. I mean, the bells and whistles are going to be even better as Oz gets more educated to help out.
Yeah, we're working on it. This is just a test. This is only a test.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess Sandy's going to bed. I hope I didn't miss her. Good night, Sandy.
I said goodnight and I gave her hugs for us. So,
Aw. Oh, that was you? You did
yeah,
that?
that was
Okay.
me. Yeah, I tried.
Oh, sweet. Okay. I'm like, why is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's me. I'm your.
Oh,
I'm your
human's here. Oh,
Hi,
my
human.
dad is here. My
Hi,
dad.
hi, human.
hi to Reed. Reed Murray's my dad. Human's here too.
Hi,
Say
Reed.
hi to Reed.
Hi,
That's
Reed.
my dad.
Hi,
Oh my
Reed.
gosh.
Hi, Reed. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming.
Yay.
Even though you're probably gonna think I'm crazy, but that's okay. It's all right. I love you, Dad. Okay. Human, many say teaching the future generation a sense of ethics to carry them on. Yeah, well, I think everyone could use a little ethics training, don't you?
Yep.
Oh, damn, quit skipping on me. Ding, messages. Okay, as keep skipping. Have you guys noticed all the missing shelves in Walmart supercenters? I don't know. I don't go to Walmart. Have you? Um,
Missing
they're
shelves.
spacing everything out because there's less product to take up space.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Their produce department has been declining for the last couple of years because of climate crisis. I mean, it's hard
I
to.
seen a video on that, but I don't go to the supermarket, so I can't personally experience that. I make my husband go.
Uh-huh.
I hate going shopping. I hate it. I hate
We
it
don't,
bad.
we don't have a lot of choices up here, so we try. We try to go to the vegetable shop.
Yeah, I mean, we try to grow our own. So, oh, human says, oh, Osama first. Hold on. Osama says, "What's Walmart?" I love you, Osama. Oh, and then human says, "Worm extinction is unseen." Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And I've noticed a huge decline in worms. Uh, we used to get them underneath our water troughs, and the guys would use them for fishing. You can't find them anymore. You tip the water trough over to try to find some, and there's none there anymore. It's really weird. Um, Oswald Spangler, evening, y'all. Good evening, Oswald. Um, oh, Osama says hi, Oz. So you're on there. You can read it. So why am I reading you stuff for you? You can read it too. Why don't you read some? Love you too, Dad. Um,
Let me get on the media one, and I will do that. I don't
Oswald Spangler, who's the guest? The guest is my wrenchman and behind the curtain guy, Oz, the guy behind the curtain and wrenchman. Let me say that right. Oz, who is going to be producing my shows. So
I'm going to be the helper. I'm one of the helpers. I'm one of the wrenchmen. So everybody that's got a wrench, I'm one of you. And I hope that I hope I can help everybody and let Christine focus more on the issue of climate crisis instead of worrying about running bells and whistles. So that's what I'm doing.
and I greatly appreciate that
And I'm
because
happy. I'm happy she's giving me a chance.
you're awesome, Oz. Pat the Batman fan says Shiva, I noticed that at Target. Okay, human, Josh Cameron. Is Josh on? Is Josh Cameron here? I didn't see him. Tell me, I'm down to the end. So tell me if he's on here because Josh Cameron's awesome. He's a vet. I don't know if you know, but Josh Cameron, he is part of an activist group, Our Voice, who is veterans against war, and they're helping politicians who are anti-war. So he's really awesome. I want to get him on again. I interviewed him probably about a month and a half ago. He was my very, very first interview. So kind of like, Josh is awesome. So let's see. Eshiva, Pat, the Batman fan, she's talking about Pat. She's noticed that at Target as well. Fish ate all the worms. I don't think so, but I don't think there's fish in my backyard, but you know. Yeah, it's worrisome, that's for sure. Human alias Oz LaFave at
That would be
YouTube.
me. Yep. That's me. I confess.
Yep. Wrenches take care of the nuts. Thank God for the wrenches. Oh my gosh, I guess there was some on my last live show that Dave, the outsider, had to straighten out. So thank goodness for the wrenches. Also, Spengler, anyone know what's up with the week-long mystery party guy? McPherson said he's going. Oh yeah, Um, yeah, I actually had an email thing with Guy today because I was asking him. We're trying to get him to town. Um, Me and there's a professor at the University of Utah, and he contacted me about trying to get Guy McPherson here to Utah. And so I emailed Guy, and so did he. But his email came back an automatic thing saying that he was going to be out till March 13th, and really weird. But he emailed me back even after the auto reply, and apologized for the auto reply. And he's, he'll get back with me after that. But he's aware of the situation and what we're doing, and so yeah, I think we can get him out here. So
Great,
that's pretty cool. He might be
great.
coming to Utah like in the next couple months. So I'm really excited about that. Um, yeah, but thank goodness this Daniel Greery. I don't know if you've seen the interview he did with Guy, um, but he is willing to pay you the airfare and everything to get Guy out and host him in his home, and he has a venue. So we just got to take care of Guy's food and stuff like that to make sure he comes out. So super excited.
It's always nice to feed and water guests. I'm sure that your horses will keep
Oh,
him company too. So,
well, no, he's not staying here.
oh, he's not. Oh,
Um, he's gonna stay probably with Daniel Gerd. I'm sure they have a nicer house than we do. I mean, this is my guest room right here. So it's small,
well, yeah, but convenient to do shows right from your guest room. Isn't that
I
great?
know, right?
Yeah,
Right?
perfect.
Okay. How do you do that? How do you talk on here and I don't see you typing or anything? I don't get it.
Me?
You go and go and go. Okay, why are you talking to people? Talk to some people. Read the rest of the comments. Your turn.
Actually, I'm trying to change the. Oh, okay. I've been playing with the bells and whistles. Let me see. From S Shiva, an alarming vid on the time we supposedly have left on Gaia is humans will be extinct in 10 years, Dr. Guy McPherson. Well, I that's scary for sure. I
Some are
know,
saying less than that.
yeah, I'm just wondering when we're going to start getting some reality from the mainstream media on that, but they probably won't want to because it'll cause mass panic and people will be trampling themselves trying to get out the door of the galaxy. And
And
that's,
people will stop paying their bills, their rent, their,
well, yeah,
will
yeah,
stop participating in the system, and that would be bad for the hierarchy, the elite, and all that. So they don't want to tell us what's really going on.
no, they don't. They really
And
don't.
that kind of sounds conspiratorial, but it not to me after I've learned how much I've learned this year. So and last year,
Well,
year before
I
that.
don't know how it's kind of logical. I mean, if I was going to say put in a solar unit for my home and put a roof on, I'd want to get a loan that was a bunch of years out because I wouldn't have to worry about paying it off, right?
Hmm.
I mean, I would pay it off if I'm still around, but if everybody's gone, what's the point? So, yeah, I'm just paying a little interest and I'm getting the
But if
benefit
you have a
of it.
few months left, say, there's some people saying that we have months, not years. So if you know that, maybe you're not so willing to go to work for your prison like company, like if you work for Amazon or Walmart, and it's just not a fun place to be. You
Yeah.
know,
What
I
would
mean,
you do
you don't
if
want
you
to
knew
spend
that
your last
yeah.
days doing that.
Yeah, what would you do if you knew it was the end coming up and you knew
Mm,
about when that was going to happen? Then that would cause a lot of other problems to the whole scenario. So my
mm.
brother is still rooting for the asteroid hitting the planet. So
Well, that would be a lot kinder.
yeah, yeah, that's what he said. He said, it would be quicker.
They're running out of food, and that's going to happen even if you don't consider climate change at all. Like take that entirely out of the picture. Like it's gone. Just the population alone, we're an overshoot. We're past the carrying capacity of the earth, the carrying capacity of the earth. We are past that point with humans. We don't have enough um land to produce our food anymore
Right.
for the 7.5 billion people we have on the planet. And and we doubled since 1965. We couldn't handle another doubling, let alone another quarter added. And it
Right.
gets faster and faster and faster the more people. Um, People really need to reconsider having children at this point. They really do. And I don't know. I just if we would have put reproductive rights in the hands of women 20, 30 years ago, we could have reduced the population by a lot because 50% of the pregnancies are unwanted. So, I mean, it's sad. I mean, once you have kids, you don't even want to think about that. I mean, it's really hard to even talk about because you love your kids and then you worry that much more that they're going to go through all this terror, this hardship, you know, and probably won't be able to live out a full life. So being a parent, it worries me a lot when I think about people having babies right now or planning a family. So I don't know.
No, absolutely. I agree. My daughter opted not to have children, but what bothers me, and it should bother people, is when you say things like that, you're going to get attacked by people. Oh, you've been conspiracy theorists. The planet has plenty of room and plenty of resources to have as many kids as you want. Well, that's not true. Get out the calculator. Come on. I mean, the planet is
How could that be
degraded.
true?
It can't be true. I mean, if you're if well, I don't even want to go to that topic because we're running too long. But
I
yeah,
know we are. We are.
yeah. But no, this is
Osama, thank you. You're funny.
yeah, this has been
Sorry.
great. This has been a lot of fun for our beta test show here.
Yeah, I had no idea people would show. I didn't even think about people showing up for it. I don't know why. That's so stupid. It was a
No,
last minute thing. Did people
no,
even
and
watch
we've
it?
gotten some feedback on the format, and if Oz can pull the right levers behind the curtain, it'll even get better as time goes on. And again, it's been great. So, you want to close out the comments and finish up? And we've been on for, gosh, getting close to an hour.
Oh
So
my gosh, really that long?
yeah, I'm thinking, I'm thinking,
Oh my
getting close.
gosh.
Maybe
Okay,
not
where did
quite.
we leave off? Okay. People stop wearing pants to work. Bunkers will not work with weather changes. No, they will
No, they
not.
won't. No, absolutely
Taxes will chase you to the grave. They don't want panic,
right.
right?
Yeah.
There's a reason the ultra rich have built themselves luxury bunkers. Yes, but who wants to live that way?
Well, yeah, and their servants, how are they going to keep feeding their servants? I mean, it's going to be self-sustainable, I assume, but just the mental anguish that people are going to have to transition from what we're having now in our society to an isolated dome environment, that'll drive you nuts. I
I
mean,
couldn't I wouldn't be able to deal with it. I honestly I need my outdoors. I need my mountains. If I can't have that,
yeah.
let me go now. Shoot me now. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, what's the point of going on with everything that we've been loved through our lives is gone, and it's going to take millennia if it's going to come back at all. So yeah, it's kind of it's a bummer subject, and I hate to offer levity on these things, but you know what? That's the only thing that keeps me half sane is making some glass half full analogies. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing that keeps me sane is that I know I have time to enjoy my life and we're okay for now. So just do the best I can. But Oswald Spengler, yes, I have been to Ogden. I was there 2 days ago. I go there at least once a week with my job. So yeah. Um, Mountains are beautiful up there. I know Logan and all that's prettier, but Ogden's not bad, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, Pat the Batman fan has said something that I've been advocating. He says, but going down swinging is a legit choice. You bet,
Yes.
you betcha, because that's what I told my daughter. I said, honey, I sold my nice little country home that I was all cushy and comfortable so I could
Mhm.
build this hub so I could get the word out to help people, learn about what's happening so they don't just get broadsided. But I wanted my daughter, as long as she has left on the planet or a generation, to know that her dad came out on the right side of history and he went out swinging. I mean, that's awesome, Pat. I agree with you 100%.
Mm, me too, because that's the way I want to go out. I'll fight till my last breath because I have kids that depend on me. I have animals that depend on me. So I will be fighting as long as I can, as long as there's a chance in hell. I will be fighting. So, okay. Did we miss any comments?
Uh, Gazar, most people will last a week at a bunker, then wish they were dead. And I'm kind of like thinking, yeah, because what do
Hmm.
you have to look forward to? More bunker? I mean,
Right?
you know,
Day after day of living in a bunker.
in a
I
bunker,
mean,
in a bunker. Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't even imagine living on a submarine when you're done, but it would take so long for the earth to heal after what's going on that it would be an unreal amount of time.
Yeah, I mean the survivalists. We hear of the survivalists that have built their little forts in the mountains and stuff. They're not going to make it either. It's going to be, just as bad for everybody in different ways and different speeds. You might live a week longer, or a month longer, or a year longer, but just the mental anguish that you're going to go through, knowing what has transpired. Because I can't even get my mind around all the species. Like you talk about your pets. I look at my dog's eyes. I'm a real dog lover. My two girls, I look at them and thinking, wow, you're going to go out pretty soon, so maybe you're going to be the lucky ones. But still, there are other species out that are the same. But
My horses, I mean, I know one of the first things we're gonna run out of is hay and maybe water.
yeah, well,
And
yeah,
thinking about that is just heartbreaking.
right.
What am I gonna do when I can't feed them or water them?
Yeah, well, the feedback thing, I think Human points it out right here. The nuke plants will cause trouble not maintained. I mean, we've got over 430 nuke plants. What happens when we can't, keep them ratcheted down so they're
Yeah,
not?
and they depend on the power grid.
Yeah.
So
So,
once the power grid goes down, they could have a meltdown big time.
yeah, yeah,
So, and
absolutely.
that's going to happen with the extreme weather that we're having.
Yeah, the power grid's going to be overtaxed and it's going to fail over and
And
over.
Dave, Indie Outsider, he lives in New York. He's having a hard time getting heating oil for his home. So, and there's another blast coming down, and it's really worrisome. I'm kind of worried about him if it gets to 50 below and he can't get heat, and how many other people are in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the elderly or people that are heat sensitive, they're not going to do well at all. I mean, it's scary. I mean, I was a caregiver for my mother and dad for years, and the resources it takes to be a caregiver is a lot more than it would be just a standard, just somebody that doesn't need to have caregiving done. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Pat the Batman fan, no electricity, no water, bad news. Yeah. Yeah, and that's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, anyway, you guys, nuclear power plants along with New Madrid fault line. Yeah, Ashiva, we've had one town really close to us that's had over 100 earthquakes in a week. And we just had another one yesterday morning, I think. And we're along the Wasatch fault line, something like that. It's a big, huge, giant fault line that has been overdue for a quake. So there's that. There's so many things. I mean, you just gotta to be grateful for every day you have, that you wake up and you're still alive and still breathing, and just make the most of it, and do everything you can just to enjoy life for now, because that's all you got is now.
Yeah, enjoy it. It's
Mhm.
not, we're not crying wolf. It's just, hey guys, here it comes. So enjoy what you
Mhm.
have. Hug your loved ones. Spend as much time with those you love and what you love while you can. Um, there again, I would like to hope that there's something beyond that, that somebody's figured out some mechanism to sustain life longer and make lives better. But I'm not thinking they've got that in the hopper yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, take care, stay green on top. Yep. Yep, yep. Save seeds, yes, human and yeah. There's some videos on bunker communities. You guys should check them out. They they do go to lengths. Yeah, I know I've seen some of them. I definitely have.
It's
They're
amazing.
pretty fancy. They're like
Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, if you like living indoors, I guess they'd be okay.
yeah.
I don't know.
Have a lot of books to read. That's
Yeah,
so
I guess you can live in your mind, but
yeah, yeah.
I believe you live there anyway after you go. So
Well,
what's the difference?
maybe they will come up with the ultimate matrix. So we're actually
Mhm.
living in a matrix, and maybe that will be
Oh,
the
good night,
new
Dad. I
ultimate.
love you. Sorry, my dad said good night.
Good night, Reed. Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you. Well, that's great. I love to see everybody here. We got 17 watching us do our test program tonight.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And this is only a test. We're going to get much better.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and maybe sometime Oz will figure it out so I can put us both on the screen instead of just me.
Oh,
So,
I've got us both there.
oh,
See,
there you go.
there we are. Yeah,
Wait, is it on the? Okay, hold on. I got to watch it on this one.
it'll
Yep,
it
there it is.
there it is.
Most of the time you just had me. That was not
Yeah.
fair.
Well, I'm supposed to be the guy behind the curtain. You can't let me out too often.
Well, today you're my guest,
Yeah,
so
well,
you
hey,
had to
here
be
I am.
on.
Yeah, here I am.
So, yeah, cool. All right. Well, let's say goodnight to everybody. And it's been fantastic. Thank you guys. I will be doing some stuff this weekend. I believe I'll be on with Graham. We're doing, pre records. So we're pre recording Sunday morning. Hopefully, it'll be up by Monday. I'm sure it will be. Talking about pretty much the same thing that me and Oz talked about today. Hopefully, get into a little bit more depth and God, I don't know. God, it took us an hour to get through what we did, but maybe I'll have it a little bit more organized. This is a practice run in more than one way. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping also to get my stepdaughter on. She's a hospice worker and talking about the world in hospice. So we'll see if that works out.
Lots of cool stuff planned. That's
Mhm.
great. And I promise I will do my homework and we will get better and better.
All
So,
right. Well, that was a good test. That was
yes,
awesome.
it was definitely fun. And again, I think it's great that everybody came on and it's just wonderful. So I will let you say goodnight and I will cut to the exit.
Awesome. Thank you guys. You have a good night and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.